XFL.
Listen, every time when I do stuff, I paraphrase. I'm not writing everything out.
So is the NFL
Is the NFL dead? Is his own question.
Parted by
is the NFL
XFL
dead? And then so then the XFL is trying to capitalize off the NFL's rates going down. Rates.
Yeah. Vince
Ratings.
just announced something. Why didn't
Vince McMahon is coming back in 2020 with the XFL. The NFL is losing viewers, myself included.
Yes, indeed.
The Super Bowl is a spectacle still, but I'm not watching it. I wonder if the NFL is slowly declining while we're watching NBA come up and surpass the NFL possibly in the near future as like America's sport. You know,
actually, baseball is America's sport.
No, it's not. Baseball,
It's
basketball,
America's pastime, but if you look at the numbers, it's not even close.
Baseball or basketball eventually probably going to surpass the NFL as America's sport. Right now, it's America's sport. Come on, we got to admit it. But I'm saying, are we watching the beginning of the end
of a downfall?
Ooh, can I jump in really quick?
Please.
Go ahead, you start it off.
Do you think also, and this is not even so much a statement from me, I do agree with you. Do you think it also ties into, I think a little bit more, the possible neurological effect it might, football becoming distasteful for people?
It's part of it.
Do y'all think, I'm going to let y'all speak on it because y'all play football. Is that already something to come in, like people like, I don't even deal with it, let's go with something that's more...
I mean, I'll say the awareness of... It's tough watching the game when you know, especially the older generation.
Right.
It's tough watching the game knowing that you're watching kids literally kill themselves. They're setting themselves up for long-term failure.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a guy you guys that are in their 40s, which in any other career path is young as hell, that aren't walking, that are talking like they were boxing for 20 years, and they only play football for 6. They only play professional football for 6 years. I mean, what's his name? Aaron Hernandez. Now, granted, he wasn't the nicest human being when he was alive, but they said like his brain matched that degenerative-wise of someone who's like in their 70s or something like that. And the dude was like in his late 20s at that point. Yeah, because he came like after Gronk. Yeah. So he was like in his like late 20s, and he had his brain was from the damage of playing football was around like a 70-year-old brain. So it's tough watching that, knowing that you're literally watching guys go to the gallows in the long term. But I don't think the NFL is gonna die. Personally, it's still exciting game. But you have people say that I'm not watching football for whatever reason, and then it comes on now like, well, I'll watch it today.
Yeah, I'll watch it today.
What about the XFL? Do you think maybe the XFL will rebrand itself, maybe become safer, or they would? I know they're doing shorter games, right?
They're doing shorter games. They're trying to like go off of what the populace is saying they want the game to look like. Yeah. They're changing it.
See, me personally, I think the NFL. I from watching it as a kid, I watched it slowly take. I believe it is taking a plunder, just due to the fact of what they're putting out and what they're taking away from the game. They're taking away a lot of the love from the game based off of the money spectrum, based off of these. I'm gonna be honest with you. They calling some of these games. I mean, you can watch them and you can tell like some of these things are just part of the theatrics of trying to keep the viewers going. So I do believe that there are some politics behind the scenes that a lot of us don't know about, and I feel like from watching what it used to be to watching what it is now, it is definitely theatrics that are happening on the field. Some of the things are just pure talent. I'm not disrespecting any of those gentlemen out there. However, some of the things that happen in these games, I know that, come on now, like, you're not fooling us. Especially from gentlemen like me and Danny and Denzel, no offense to Nick, but who have played the game before and know how these things work and operate, and we've watched it for years growing up. So when you see these kind of things happening, it kind of draws you away from it. I've played football for 12, 13 years. I watched football for another 12, 13 years. I'm showing my age now, right?
Yeah.
Motherfuckers count like,
wait a
that's
minute.
2 13s. What the fuck is...
Let's not disrespect Nick, though. Nick was a lesbian.
No, I was a fighter.
Yeah,
No,
I don't think
he's always been like girls, isn't he?
I know you're joking, first of all. But perfect joke.
But yeah, I feel like it's definitely taking away the distinctiveness of what football was and what it could have been. So now I don't even watch football like that. And like I said, I've played football and watched football for years, but I've watched 2 games this season.
Shout out to Marvin's haircut. His barber is fucking good as shit.
Hey yo, Mike. Hey, what's up, man?
Fuck this nigga, man. He got a nice haircut.
Yo, we gonna somebody count how many times this motherfucker buzz and get back to us.
Hey, yeah, let us know.
If the buzzing is
if you can count how many buzzes
Danny
Danny does in the DM, you get a special shout out, and we're gonna give you a gift or something.
And he looked at
The count starts now.
Did you touch on this topic at all? I think you did a little bit.
No, he didn't
say
say.
it.
He didn't get a chance.
What is it? What are you talking
Go
about?
ahead. The NFL versus the
Yo,
XFL.
I love athletes. I fuck with NFL players. You know what I'm saying? I like that shit. I no, this is not some
What
homo
type
shit.
of
It was him.
I said
No, he did.
It was him.
it's not some homo shit. I said fuck the NFL. I didn't mean fuck the players. I meant
You consider strippers athletes too?
strippers. Strippers are athletes. Yo. Some of them. Thank you. I appreciate it. But look, I'm saying
Thank you.
I fucks with the players, yo. I just don't fuck with the way that the NFL is going with like social issues and and not only that, it's like just fuck the game, yo. Fuck that shit, man. It doesn't highlight the players the way it's supposed to.
Right.
It's trying to highlight the game and the team and the coaches and the NFL. But the reality is the players they push the league, but they not being treated as if they do. That's why I feel like
They
that.
put a lot of sacrifice on the line.
So like when I this was my question. When I wrote this down, I was thinking to myself, how do we draw like some kind of conversation that's going to bring it back to like we really need to get back. I love football. We need to get back in football to like where it's about what it's supposed to be about.
It's supposed to be for the love of the game.
Love of the game and talented players. You know what I mean? I played since I was 5 years old, and I was nowhere near good enough to go to the NFL. Nowhere near good enough to go there. So I respect 100% the skills and everything it takes to get there. But I don't like how the shit's going right now. That's why I said.
So I guess stay tuned to the XFL. Is that what it is? Maybe they can.
XFL. Maybe they can clear up some stuff that we do.
I don't know if I like the XFL either, but
I was saying, the NFL will always, I mean, football in general will always be more team centric than the NBA.
it's gotta highlight the players, bro.
But hear me out. You have LeBron James, right? You're guaranteed the playoffs.
Shout out to King James.
So
You cannot give him that for a shout out for King James.
Yeah.
Let him shout him out again.
You can't hate with the buzzer. The buzz is only for time restrictions.
Is anybody counting out there?
All right, listen. So say you have
Steph
LeBron.
Curry.
Say you have LeBron James, right? So you have LeBron James. You're guaranteed. You
Call
pretty
him King
much.
James.
My God. Listen, hold on.
King.
You got nuts in your chest. But yo, so say you have LeBron James, right? You can pretty much guarantee you're in the playoffs, right? You could have the best running back in all football. I mean, superstar talent. Could be playing in LA. You could be packing the house with this dude. But if he can't get past the line of scrimmage, it doesn't matter. So it's always gonna be off the team. You can have the best quarterback in the world. If he's not in a situation like with a Belichick, where he doesn't have guys that buy into the system, that are down with it, it doesn't matter. If he can't get blocking.
Barry Sanders.
The NFL.
Hold on.
highlights
No.
your players.
That's a great question.
Barry Sanders.
Highlights
You said
your
Barry
players.
Sanders, right?
Yeah.
How many playoffs games did he win?
You're right, he didn't. But
Then-
he was a highlight motherfucking player.
But how many playoff
You're
games did he
right.
win?
I'm not.
So
there's
that's
no
why it
discussion
will
with I'm
always
just
be
saying.
team centric. So
Of course,
you'll
yes.
have guys that appreciate Barry's greatness, right? But during the time you hear about the Bears teams. You don't hear about those Lion squads.
Yeah,
Listen.
modern day, yes, modern
Yo,
day.
Tom Brady's
But
the best
back
quarterback ever. Tom
Ever.
Brady's the best quarterback ever, and he's a good reason why he's the face of the franchise, face of the NFL. The reason why that they are like 7 times to the Super Bowl. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying right now is the NFL needs to highlight the fucking players and stop trying to talk about this team shit. Because in an era now where like one person, like Tom Brady, how many fucking followers he got on shit? How many views is he bringing to the game when he plays? That's why they pushing that shit. That's why they fucking fucked the Jaguars up last week so that Tom Brady could get to the fucking Super Bowl. For that reason, you gotta do that shit for all the fucking players, man. It's a player-driven league. It should be, just like the NBA is. The NFL's behind, yo. They're fucking behind.
I'll say that.
That's the problem.
Here's the difference. With football is going to be football. With in the NBA, if you take away some of those superstars, it'll be a different league. It'll be a boring league. You can take away a star football player, put in another one, and it's still a good ass game.
That makes
Because
that makes
football-
us a commodity, and we don't want to be a commodity. Highlight the players, bro.
I hear what you're saying, but football. I'm just telling you how it is. Football will
Are you
always
like a
be
devil's
a
advocate
team-
from opposite perspective? Is that what we're doing here?
We
I
not
wouldn't
doing
say
it.
devil- I wouldn't say devil's
truth.
advocate.
No,
This is
no,
not
but
a
It seems like you're advocating more for like the players, which is parallels is drawn within combat sports too, versus like the organization or the promotion. And he's arguing more for like like the macro
whole-
sense
the
of it,
ma-
like
yeah,
the
the
bigger
whole
But
thing.
picture.
and the NBA will always be more player centric than the NFL could ever be. You ever been to okay, a lot of people haven't been courtside. But if you sit courtside at an NBA game, you can trip them. You can
You
sit
just
on.
never sat on it. You just never
I
said
sat
Nick hasn't
courtside
been
one time.
courtside.
Shout out
He's
to my man
he's
Carl Bro.
Nick, you ain't been courtside.
Well, I've been ringside because fighters.
I love
fight
going to
shit,
fucking
whatever.
fights, yo.
I don't really do basketball.
He
I
likes
just
his mother.
throw a ball into a motherfucking hoop.
All right.
Crack
No,
ball.
but
So
this is like
back to my original point.
The
right?
NFL.
Back to my
Man,
original point.
I'm trying
Back
to
to
keep
my
you
original
going.
point. Back to my original point. So if you can sit courtside at an NBA game, right, and you can trip the player, you can be in the bottom row at an NFL game and not be able to throw a drink on the sideline. You can see faces in the NBA. You really can't see them when they're making their highlight plays. So they're trying to go, but you say player centric as much as they can. Your big mark, okay. You just said you haven't been following NFL. This is my thing. So
This is my
you
thing.
have
So
your you hold on. You have your NFL players
That's
that
some
are
new shit, too.
you have
This
your
is-
players, the NFL players that are in big market cities, right? Your OBJs, right?
Yeah, he's wrapping it up. So.
Well, yeah, your OBJ's pretty much like he could be a pop star at NBA, right? But as great as OBJ is, he will never, ever command that same type of market respect as somebody like I don't want to say LeBron, someone like Kyrie Irving that can just take over a game by himself.
There's only
It's
one thing
different.
wrong with what you're
That's
saying. The only thing wrong with what you're saying is that the NFL really needs to forward the league by highlighting players. And you're not saying that? So that's the only thing wrong with what you're saying.
Well, that's something
I
that
agree.
but that's what
not-
I disagree on.
But no,
That's
there's another reason why you don't
disagree,
listen.
and I can
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
completely disagree.
Yeah.
And I still fucks with him. This is my man, 100 grand.
Yesterday,
Yesterday,
you know, you told me if he disagrees with your points, you
But
said
so
fuck that man.
Yeah.
all
But
the way.
listen, there's another reason why they can't. You can't be player centric if you're talking about the longevity of the league. Know why? Because there's never been a game past week one that players play that they're not hurt.
Yeah.
Right? NBA is much less of a chance of an injury. Much less of a
Because
chance
not
of an
as much
injury,
as-
right?
yeah.
So you can say you can be in the Toronto market and bet your horses on DeMar DeRozan and say we're gonna push everything. We want DeMar DeRozan fans. We don't care if they love the Raptors. Be DeMar DeRozan fans because he's gonna bring in money. But if you talk about a league like the NFL, whereas if you put all your horses into a running back or a receiver, he tears his ACL. He's never the same player. Now people aren't fans of your team. You're losing money in the long term.
Push that player so that after that injury, he still is a commodity and can do other shit. Push the fucking player. We gotta go to the next topic.
Alright, so
we
just
gotta
wrap
go
it
to
up.
the next
Just to wrap it
topic.
up.
You want
I'm
to
gonna say
change the
I'm gonna say
NFL.
my own topic.
I'm not
out loud.
disrespecting him.
No,
I'm not
finish.
disrespecting him. I have
Go
to
ahead.
play. I have to
Wrap it up.
be the adversary at some point. But the point is, we got one more. We got room for one more good topic.
Do we have any more topics in the cups? In the cups?
Yeah, we do.
We got a bunch,
But
but
I got a topic for you guys.
all right.
Oh, you came late.
Yeah, since I came late, so fuck it. Get a chance to write
He's
it
the
down.
same guy that said
Let's
he.
show love to our viewers though, because they are watching.
Oh, you
Another
know
thing too. The topics, because they're spending time sending us these.
Shout out M Hope.
Do we have any more left?
Shout out
Just
Just
let's do
Ash.
like one or two more, and then we can get into our shit at the end.
We got more time for one more topic.
Let's put one more from the cup.
We still
Let's
got
put
to
one
put
more
this
from the
together.
One more from the cup, and then
we
you want
have
me to do?
a
And then we
amount
can
of-
jump into our shit. One more for the cup, because I know whoever's watching, they might want to hear them.
What about my topic?
No, let him do his topic. We'll keep that. Can we keep
No,
that shit in the
that's
cup
right.
for next week too?
We can't.
We'll be here next week.
I mean, we can pull from the cup. I'll get my question.
Yo, I
gotta
don't want
be
you to
on
feel
time
bad
next
for
week.
being late all the time.
No, that's fine.
I don't want you to feel bad for being late 2 weeks
If I'm late,
ago.
I'm late. Fuck it. If I'm late, I'm late. This shit, fuck it. I'm accountable for my own
Last
actions.
topic.
Last topic. Man, that's a big ass piece of paper.
That's clearly in my view.
Oh, Lord.
That was my topic. Sorry.
Yeah, we got you.
Fuck, yo.
You're one of
I
the
didn't
fastest.
know the papers.
I can read that shit. Azika?
Anika.
Hold on, I gotta be able to read the whole shit.
Anika.
Who's a nigga?
That's the homie Anika. We reading your
okay.
topic.
Anika.
This is for you.
Listen, we about to kill your topic. This is the last topic, so we gotta
This is
really.
gonna be a real
we gotta
good one.
really-
This is a good topic.
We
This is a
gotta
good
really come
topic.
with it on
This
this
is gonna be a
topic.
good one,
This is a good
folks.
topic.
Y'all pay
We
attention
have
to
to
this.
come with it on this topic.
All right, so this is from what?
Anika. Yeah, one of my
Anika?
friends on
From the DMs.
Fitness-
and,
Hold
fitness
on. He
enthusiast.
can't like pictures, but he can have friends.
Whoa, go back to the question. Whoa, yes, buzz the fuck out.
I'm
I'm
done.
all right, so sexual taboo. Definition of freaky sex. Young folks, is that supposed to be pretenders?
Preferences, I'm sorry.
Oh, young folks' preferences. I have no idea what the fuck the next word says. All right, so you gotta help me.
This is why we should probably read our own question because all our handwriting is
Oh,
like, all right, so this Anika, she was saying sexual taboo, definition of freaky sex. So what do we define freaky sex? We all have different
Okay,
things.
all right now.
Young folks' preferences compared to the back in the day shit, right? You know, what we do,
I
what
don't
they
think
do.
back in the day they did.
And let's talk on like threesomes, open relationships. You know what Denzel does, and shit like that. So I'm gonna jump in there real quick, and you guys we'll just figure it
follow
out.
up.
Freaky sex. So
Buzz his ass, yo.
that makes it real. My definition of freaky sex is gonna be obviously different from most people, and I'm not gonna go too deep into
No,
what
no,
it is.
please
No,
go
please.
deep.
Yo,
This
deep.
is
yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Unfiltered
Go
life
deep.
outside
If this
the
is
gym.
not
How
saying it
deep?
is.
Hold on, time out.
Motherfucker.
This is
It
life.
doesn't talk
It's
about the
omnidirectional.
topic.
Good job.
Go
You
ahead.
can't buzz me for doing that shit. Look, this is life unfiltered outside the fucking gym. Whatever it is that comes to mind, that's what the fuck we're speaking.
That's the
Serious.
guy who's not gonna say what he's feeling right now.
Right. We'll see.
What
We're
am I not
gonna see.
feeling?
We're gonna see.
Oh, let's see.
We're gonna
Let's see. Let's
All right,
see.
so let me jump back into it. Freaky sex. The definition of freaky sex.
I don't know.
I think that has changed over time, right?
Yeah.
I think nowadays, the only thing I think would be like freaky would be like